So ignore the crazy hair. I got back from hot yoga and I try to air dry my hair when I can. So it's just, you know, it's going to do whatever it's going to do. But today we're going to talk about the new Tom Ford Soleil de Faux eye color quads. There are two of them. There's Tropical Dusk and Island Haze. And believe it or not, I have one on each eye. Now, I did record the application of both of these, so I will go through the application. We'll talk about it, but let's just talk a little bit about the quads first, and let me show them to you, and then I will swatch them to you. And hopefully I'll have pictures up either indoors or indoors and outdoors, we'll see, on my skin tone and my husband's skin tone. So that'll help you guys. All right. So these are the Soleil de Faux eye quads. They are limited edition. So if you're interested in them, yes, they will eventually leave. They're not here forever. They're part of the Soleil de Faux entire collection. I talked about Oasis, the highlighter, and then the lip balms, the Spark lip balms that they have. I do not have that on today. I have some Dior products on today, which we're going to get to as soon as we do these. I'm going to talk about some new Dior blush shades that I picked up and lip balms. All right, so it says, sculpts the eyes with smoldering bronze and ember hues. Presented in luxe limited edition packaging, 4 mesmerizing hues recall the molten sun, burnished blaze over the sea, blah, blah, blah. You know, these are, obviously, we've got Island Haze and Tropical Dusk. So, yeah, I mean, it totally makes sense that we're talking about tropical, summer, ember, you know, amber, browns, pinks, those types of things. I'm going to tell you right now, I'm not sure that these are the creme formula. There's two reasons I say that. One, they don't apply like the Violet Dusk, the Violet Satin, sorry, and Satine, I guess, technically, and the Velours Khaki. But they could still be the creme formula. The reason I don't think they're the creme formula, and again, if they are, they've just been labeled differently, is that on the back of these, it says 4 couleurs, C-O-U-L-E-U-R-S, which is the 4 colors, which is the traditional, what they call, I think it was called, what's the name of it? I think Tom Ford used to call it the traditional quad. Was that what it was? Classic eye color, which in the beginning was really all that he had. But if I look at the back of the, let's just pick the Velours Khaki, it says 4 couleurs creme. It specifically says it on the back. And the Violet Satine also says that. Hopefully the camera is focusing on it and you can see what I'm talking about. So yeah, it says creme on both of those. These do not say that. These just say 4 colors. So I don't know. And I looked online, like I looked at Beautylish to see if they specifically said, you know, creme formula. They don't. They say that they're shimmering and matte bronze tones with the mid-tone pink for the Tropical Dusk, which is correct. And then for the Island Haze, shimmering and matte peachy copper hues, which, again, totally agree with. So, yeah, I don't have an answer for you. And again, these are not technically available in the US yet. They are. You can get them at Harrods. Harrods sends to the United States. Beautylish has them on their site. They're just saying returning soon. They'll be at Nordstrom soon. I'm sure they'll be at Saks and Neiman's and all the places. I happen to know, I talked to Rhiannon who works for Tom Ford at Nordstrom, and she said she should have them soon. And as soon as I know she has them, I'll certainly let you guys know. So they'll pop up online as well. So on this side of my eye, I have Tropical Dusk. And on this side, Island Haze. They're actually quite similar on the eye, as you can probably tell. I don't have liner on, just Fenty mascara. That's it. So, and I don't have any bronzer on today because we're going to talk about blushes. So I just, you know, I have a little bit of highlighter. I have on the Westman Atelier Parla highlighter, but that's it. That's all to my face. Well, foundation. So nothing to get in the way from the eye looks. You can definitely tell that the Tropical Dusk is cooler based, pinker, bronzier, where this is more amber, gold, warm. No doubt, they're definitely different color stories, but the look is similar. Two reasons for that. One, like I said, this formula to me, it doesn't feel the same to me as the Velours Khaki and the Violet Sateen. Let's watch Island Haze for you right now. And like I said, hopefully I'll have these also up on my skin tone and my husband's skin tone. But I feel like these are more powdery than the creme formula was. On the other hand, though, they are really silky smooth. So I'm a little unsure of myself because, you know, Tom Ford has changed formulas and done different things. So I can't tell you exactly. That's what I would say. But the formula is very silky. It goes on really, really well, but you can see it's not super impactful. Like there's not, this shade is, but the rest of the shades, they do kind of blend into one another. And so you're not gonna get a really impactful look. I'd also say though, this is the Soleil Faux collection. This is meant to be a limited edition, you know, like summer beachy kind of thing. So I'm not sure if it was meant to be like super impactful. Like the Violet Sateen or the Khaki. Those are much more fall-like color stories, just to be honest. So you can see this one is lighter. So if you want a lighter look and a warmer look, I would go with this one first of all. That's the Island Haze, and then Tropical Dusk is more impactful. It has more depth. And it's definitely cooler. You've got this deep brown that can really, you could do a lot with that deep brown if you want to. The Tropical Dusk, I'm sorry, the Island Haze, this topper shade, this gold, it is glitter. Like it's glitter. Not in a bad way as in like it's gonna be irritating, but more like it goes everywhere. The shades here, this one is definitely glittery, but you can see it has more like of a base. This one is just like a topper glitter. So when you look at my eyes, I think you can see the gold glitter on this eye, and you can also see that it kind of went like under my eye where it wasn't meant to go. Whereas this one, I did put it on top, and again, I'll go through the look. It's a little bit deeper, smoother, but it kind of took over the whole look. So, you know, it kind of blended a little bit. I think they both did. So yeah, both of these kind of blend together. Again, that's using all four shades. You know, I think you could definitely get more demarcation if you just like use this and then use this, or use this and use this and put like sparkle over it. Like, I think it depends on, you know, how much of these you want to use. I think if you use all four, yeah, I do think this is what happens. Now, again, this is the first look with both of them. I need to do a lot more when I do my wrap-up videos. By that time, I've done like many, many looks with them. But yeah, they do blend a little bit. So that has to be something that, you know, you're okay with. The look, however, is very pretty. The formula is nice and very silky. That's not a problem. It's not emphasizing texture, and I didn't have any problems applying it. There's no patchiness to any of these. All right, so let's go through the looks really quickly. I want to say the Tropical Dusk, you'll see me go through this. I started with that pale peach color, put that in the crease because I wanted to use the lightest color at first, keep it light. I used the peachy tone, that matte peachy tone, to you know, increase the crease and sort of blow it out a little bit. If you'll notice though, when I do that, the two kind of blend together. There's not a lot of demarcation between those two peach tones because the deeper tone sort of blends into the lighter tone. So it's a little hard to see that lighter tone on the look at the end. The bronzy shade, the one that I used when I swatched last in my arm, that is impactful. The thing was though, once I put it, I tried to keep it on the outer corner of my eye, and I also lined my eyes with it. It does really swatch. It swatches really well, and it's a deep shade. But again, it kind of blended into the rest of it. We're gonna try putting it on a little bit differently when we come back from this video. All right, then I went to the Island Haze, and the Island Haze, I took the pink and put it all over the eye. I kind of used that as like the primer for my eye. So it's this pink, you know, just like cool tone. It's actually a very pretty pink, basic, like neutral pink, which I thought was really pretty. And then I took the shimmer shade, the like almost like a metallic. It's like a satin shimmer, that sort of bronzy mid-tone bronze, and put that like on the eye, and especially closer to the inner corner. That is a lovely shade. I think those two together just by themselves is very, very nice. The brown shade, the deep brown shade, I kept it on the outer corner only, and I really wanted to emphasize that outer corner with that deeper shade. I thought about like, you know, could I get more definition if I went in with a very stiff, dense brush with that brown shade? I think we can. So I'll show you guys that. And then I took the sparkle shade, the topper shade, and put it all over the eye. So like I said, that one is less glittery. It definitely has glitter, but it's more, I think it's more of like a shimmer. And you probably noticed that I used in the video the Sonia G eye set. And the reason I did that, I often use Sonia G brushes, but this is the Sky, I think it's called Sky Eye Set or something like that. I'll make sure the information is correct below, but they're coming back in stock, and I think they've been out of stock for quite some time. And Sonia G just put something on her page about it. So I'll have something on Instagram to talk about it, but these are some of my favorite brushes of all time. Her red handled ones, her red lacquer ones, which I also have, I do love those as well, but these are my favorite. Like, I might buy another set of these, really. I don't need more brushes, but I find myself using these more than any other brushes, like on a regular basis, except for my like Kolinsky brushes, but like I use these a lot. And so what these are, jumbo blenders in here, classic crease. I have two classic crease brushes, a soft shader and a mini booster. These are classic crease brushes. They're the same. And then this one is a mini booster. This one is the soft shader, which I love. And this is the jumbo blender. Now, I'll be honest, when I'm talking about these, I don't remember if these are all the ones that are in the eye set or if it comes with also this one, which is the flat definer. I don't remember right now, but it doesn't matter. All of them are fantastic. If you can buy them separately, if you can buy them together as a set because it's less expensive, do that. They're all exceptional brushes. I also have the Sky set for like face. So I have, you know, I really love these particular brushes that she does. Like I said, Sonia G has great brushes all around, but the blue, I call them the blue, but I think it's Sky, are some of my favorite. The smooth buffer sheer buffer that's coming out, sheer buffer that's coming out, I'm definitely buying one. You might even buy two, because that is basically meant to buff in cream products to your face, and I have a lot of cream blushes. Especially this year. By the way, I am going to do a ranking of blush brushes. Blushes. I noticed that Sophia did one. I haven't had a chance to watch it yet, but I'm sure it's fantastic. I will be doing one. I want to get through June and like be mid-year, because I'm going to do a huge mid-year roundup as well. So I'm going to try to have videos where I do like the best blushes that have come out mid-year, the best bronzers that have come out mid-year, the best eyeshadows, that type of thing. I also want to mention though that I might be having like fewer videos, maybe 2 a week instead of 3, maybe doing more on Instagram. Work is, as always, like the most important thing that I, do is, well, my family's the most important thing, but then work, real life work, if you will. And I love all of you and I love doing this, but there's, a lot of things that I'm working on. And so I might have to just cut back and do, fewer videos a week. I don't want the quality of what I'm doing to suffer. So I'd rather have like 2 videos or 1 video, frankly, that's really done well than 3 that I have to rush to do. So, if that happens, it happens. Just wanted to give you a heads up. Okay, so let's start with Island Haze here. And the thing about Island Haze, when you look at it, right, it definitely looks like a warm, peachy, amber. I forget how they described it, but it's a pretty color story if you like warms. I tend to be drawn to this type of thing, but to be honest with you, this one doesn't really do it for me. I'm not really sure why, but maybe it's because I have a lot of it. And let me know which ones you want to swatch next too, because I can put that on Instagram and also have it up here as like I could do a reel, you know, all kinds of different things. But it's not my favorite look. Like when I put it on my eye, I was just kind of like, yeah. I don't think it's bad. I just feel like, one, I think it blended into one another, and two, the shade that looked most promising, the one that I thought, well, that's definitely impactful, this bronzy shade here, which I also lined my eyes with, it is, I'm going to put it back on, but the problem is you have to be super deliberate with it, and when you do that with this, which is, again, certainly something you can do, it kind of takes over the rest of the shades. Like, it doesn't, what's the word I'm looking for? It doesn't accentuate the other shades. It kind of just takes them over because the other shades are so much like lighter and there's so much less pigment, I think, that's kind of what happens. Let's take this, like, this beigey shade. This shade is like the color of my skin, which might work really well in the future for like a primer. But if I try to put this on top of, it works a little bit, but it kind of just makes it look dull. And so it's not like a pretty matte. I can't really explain it, but now I put the glitter on and you'll see, first of all, the glitter goes everywhere, but it doesn't, like, you see how it kind of just all blended right there? Again, it's not a bad look. I think it's pretty, but it's too blendable for me. Like, it's too similar. I feel like there isn't enough on the eye. In the swatches, it's fine. On the eye, I just kind of feel like it just sort of became one. Again, it depends on how picky you want to be about these kinds of things. I had someone write something about like the Dior, the new formula versus the old formula, and they were like, well, are you being just too picky? And, you know, people aren't, I think she said something like, most people won't notice. That's probably true, but my job here, I feel like, is to be the picky person. My job is to be like, hey, I play with makeup all the time. I've been doing this for a very long time, 25 years. I've been using luxury makeup for a long time, and I actually did do it as, you know, a semi job when I was, you know, makeup artist. I think I have to be picky. Like, I have to be like, this one is this much better than this one. That's the whole point of me coming on here and having all this stuff and saying, yeah, they're all good, but this one's a little bit better, in my opinion, for the price. These are $90. For $90, in my opinion, we should all be very picky. That's just me. But I think if you're paying $90 or something, you should be as picky as you want to be. We should all be more picky in life, frankly. I mean, we should all expect more. This brown. Be nicer to people and expect more. Just speaking for myself. So I take this brown. This is a really deep brown. And like I said, if I really concentrate it and I'm using like the small, this is the mini booster, I think you can get more definition and depth and, frankly, you know, difference in shade when you use this palette. Like this palette, I see like there's more, I don't know, I think there's more opportunities to do different looks. I'm taking that light metallic shade. I think you get more of that with this. I used this shade here. The pink in here is a nice pink matte, but it's not gonna be like the most amazing shade you've ever used. But it's, you know, it's a nice pink matte. In fact, I can use it a little bit more, and I did blow it out a little bit into the crease, I mean into the brow bone, but you'll see it's just a very light pink. So, looking at these two, again, I would love to know what you want me to compare them to. I'll definitely do that. I'll try to get these swatches inside and outside on my husband's arm as well as mine. If I can't do outside, at least I'll get inside. And so I think they're pretty. They're not my favorites. I think they look better in the swatch than they do on the eye. This is, again, my first look with them, so, you know, I have a lot more to do. If I had to pick one right now, I would pick the Tropical Dusk, which is surprising because I usually go for the warmer one, but I like the cooler one. I think it has more options. And yeah, I mean, I think these have been done before. But again, you might not have them. So that's the important thing, to take a look at your collection and what, you know, what works for you. What I have on my lips, I want to mention. So I was on the Dior site picking up, I posted on Instagram quite a few Dior things, and I'll talk about them soon. But this is 2 new lip balms that I don't think existed before. And if they did exist before, I missed them when they came out, which is entirely possible. This is Rose Balm and then Dior Garden. I have Dior Garden on my lips right now. These are balms. They look a lot deeper than they are, frankly. I'll reapply this one. It's very, very light, Dior Garden. But it has like kind of a lavender, a little bit purple undertone on me. Things go cooler on me, just want to say that. And then the Rose Balm, I'm pretty sure this was new because it said new on the website on Dior. Again, maybe it came out and I missed it, but I was pretty sure that's what it said. Maybe it came out with the summer collection and I just wasn't paying attention. So it's a very pinky, rosy balm. If you've watched me for a while, you know I love a good expensive balm that I don't need. So I picked them both up. So let me put the Dior Garden on again. Do you need these? No, you don't need these. Nobody needs these because they're balms and they're very expensive balms, but I think they're really nice and I like the consistency of them. I think they're good consistency. I also think that they're comfortable on. I like the way they look. I like the level of balmness to shade. These are the kinds of things that I put in my purse, frankly, because I don't really have to worry about them. They give me a little bit of color, but not too much. So they're great for work too. Okay. Blushes. So I picked up 2 new blushes, one in a shimmer and one in a matte. If you remember from my other video when I talked about the Dior blushes, I talked about Dansante and Sillage. These are both satin. The satins I really love. I took Dansante with me on my business trip. I think it's a great shade. I think anybody who likes, put it over here, anybody who likes a very light, and I don't mean like, I mean like not a lot of pigment. There's not a lot there. You're using it for work, or maybe you just don't like blush. I don't know. Lots of reasons. Yeah, beautiful formula. Looks really good on the skin. I really am impressed with the fact that the blushes, at least these 2 blushes, both worked in the way that I thought they should work. Compared to the old formula, really like them. All right, so that's Dansante and that's Sillage, which I might have screwed up in my last video because, like I said, I'm trying to do too many things at once, and that is never a good idea for anyone. So I really like both of these. The Dansante, like I said, is it's almost like a not there blush. I love it. I've worn it a bunch of times in my videos and on Instagram. The Sillage has more shimmer to it. It's not a shimmer, it's a satin, but it's like a cool rosy tone. It's beautiful. I think it would work on a lot of people. I mean, I love the shade. So the shades I picked up that are new are Nude Look, which is matte. So that's going to be interesting. And then we have Mitzah, which is a shimmer. I don't really know the difference between the shimmer and the satin, so we're about to find out. So matte makes sense to me. Matte I got. I'm like, oh yeah, okay. Show you, I could get it out of here. Okay, that is Nude Look. And I'll swatch it in just a second, but I just want you to see it. It looks pretty. It looks like Nude Look looks in the liner and the lipstick that I have. Okay, it was swatched well. That's a matte, so it actually swatched extremely well for a matte. Mattes aren't always, you know, they're not always great for me. Mitzah, which is a shimmer. I did not pick up any of the holographics, and I want to just explain why really quickly. I think it's hologram, which is holographic, and I don't like it. I don't like the way it looks on my skin. I think it makes me look, I think because my skin's dry, I don't know. I just don't like I don't like the formula finish. So I haven't picked up any of the holographic ones, although, you know, the new holographic might be a different formula. I get that. I was like, there are a couple shades that I really want. There's one that's a natural shade that still is not in stock. I don't know what's going on there, but anyway, so I will pick up more as time goes on. Okay, so again, Dansante, Sillage, here's Nude Look Matte, and here's Mitzah, that's a shimmer. I see how it's different. So the satins are true satins. They have luminescence to them, and the shimmer has a little bit of, quote, shimmer to it. So that actually, you know, lines up. They all swatched well with this, so that's good. All right, so let's put them on the face. Let's see what it does. I'm gonna use, why not use the blue from Sonia G. This is Soft Cheek. Let's start with the matte, so that way we can put the spark shimmer. So here's Nude Look. Oh, nice. It's going on well. I do have on the Westman Atelier highlighter stick underneath. It's been sitting there for a long time. It should have, I think it, if it hadn't sunk into my skin by now, we would have problems. I'm building it up a little so you can see the shade. To be very honest, I probably would have just stopped at the beginning. I don't wear a lot of blush, which is kind of funny because I have when I was thinking about, you know, doing a blush review and a ranking blush thing, because I did a ranking bronzer one, I was like, you have a lot of blush for somebody who doesn't, you know, wear blush. It's very true. Okay. That is really nice. That's a nice shade. I think it is matte. I think any luminosity you see on the high point of my cheek, so here, is the highlighter from Westman Atelier. That's why I'm making the blush much, you know, broader. I'm using it almost as contour here. So you can see, like, down here, it's not luminescent. It is up here, but that's because the Westman Atelier is underneath. That's a great shade for me. I mean, yeah, I really like that. All right, let's try on Mitzah, and I'm going to put it here so you guys can see, sort of still using the same brush. Yeah, that's definitely shimmery. So, a little hair. I don't know where that came from. Yeah, there's definite luminosity, more than luminosity, it's shimmer. But I like it. I think that's really very pretty, actually. I think it's a good shade for me. It's kind of coral. I know somebody who's gonna like this shade. I have a friend who really likes coral. That's definitely coral. Yeah, that's nice. Okay. That's a very pretty shade. It's not something I would have necessarily picked up. There was another shade that I wanted in the shimmer. I can't remember for the life of me what it was now, but there's, like I said, there's a couple shades that just aren't in stock yet. So now I've tried matte, a shimmer, and two satins, and I can just tell you, I do really like the new Dior formula in the blushes. The eyeshadows for today, the Tom Ford. Guys, I think you can decide for yourselves. I mean, what you think of the eye looks and of the shades. I think they're pretty. I think we've seen these before, these shades before. Happy to go through my collection and figure out, you know, what I think looks most like it and swatch them. But I do think there's blending here. The shades are blending into kind of one look, but it's a very pretty look. Very summery, definitely. Warm, cool toned. If you're looking for depth, if you're looking for something that you can build, if you're looking for something that I think is a little, in my personal opinion, a little more unusual, I think it's the Tropical Dusk. I think Island Haze, I've seen more like this. And I think there's less you can do with it because one of the shades is really, that gold is just a topper, like that. It's just not gonna do anything else. And unless you have either primer on, like a real primer, or like glitter glue, or, you know, like the sticks, I think the glitter is not gonna be really impactful. This one is a little bit more so. But, you know, again, I wanna play around with these a little bit more before I make a final statement. I think they're good, not great. For $90, I think it depends on, you know, if you have these color stories in your collection, you love Tom Ford. They don't feel like, to me, the creme formula, they feel like the classic Tom Ford, which is silky and beautiful. it could be the creme formula, and maybe it's just not as creamy as, you know, Violet Sateen and Laura's Khaki. Like I said, because Tom Ford has gone kind of back and forth, it's a little tricky to tell. But to me, these don't feel the same. So, and they're not indicated as such on the packaging, at least. But I was told they were cream, so now I'm not sure. Hopefully we'll get clarification soon. So thanks so much for joining me today, guys. I really do appreciate it. And I hope to see you in another video really soon.